A lot of people may have missed it, but have y'all seen this? So first, let me describe what you're seeing. What you are seeing is a protest by Maine farmers. These are people, by and large, who voted for and supported Donald Trump. While Kamala won the state of Maine, and she won it by not the margins that you would typically see when there was a clear difference between what Donald Trump was saying and what Kamala was saying. He won, Donald Trump won this specific district where there is a significant population of rural voters and farmers. So this is how the news in Maine explain this situation.
The Department of Agriculture has angered those who work on small farms across the state.
Political reporter Kate McCusker heard from Maine's farmers who gathered to protest in Augusta today.
With some arriving on tractors and one even carrying a bucket of manure, today Maine farmers gathering to protest recent cuts by the Trump administration. Several farmers from across the state spoke out against recent cuts by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to school lunch programs and food banks. They say federal funding is crucial for small farmers to sustain their business. Some say they've already invested money that the federal government had promised to reimburse them for, or have signed contracts to support them. And overall, they say the uncertainty and confusion is hurting the industry.
This is not a partisan issue for me. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a Mainer who thinks we need farms and farmers to feed people in our state.
So Maine farmers, help me to do the math here. 1 + 1 = 2. The sky is what color? Blue. If someone tells you who they are, it's best you believe them. Donald Trump said that these were the things that he was going to do, and he did them. He talked about tariffs, and he talked about cutting the Department of Agriculture. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. This is your around and find out moment. Just enjoy it. Take it like a man or woman. You voted for this. This is exactly what you deserve.
55%. That's the rate that American farmers have been declaring bankruptcy over and above last year. 55% more bankruptcies of American farmers. And it's the conditions, the economic conditions that are contributing to it. A lack of a workforce, a lack of labor, tariffs, the whole 9 yards. Everything this administration has done is contributing to these people losing everything. They're losing the farm, right? So why is this important? Why should you care? Well, what happens when a family declares bankruptcy is that their property is sold in a sheriff's auction to satisfy creditors. So they lose their property. It's fire sailed. And if they've got a $1 million loan on the 1,000 acres they got, and they get $500,000 for the property, well, they're on the hook for another $500,000. We're talking about generations that have farmed land, that have been farmers their entire lives, losing everything because they can't sell a product overseas. Most of our corn and grain is sold to other countries, and the tariffs are making it more expensive than other options. So they can't sell what they've farmed for decades or centuries. So what's the end run here? Why is this happening? Well, my speculation is that there's large, massive farming operations out there, very large corporations that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of acres. For example, the King Ranch And 25 years ago, they had 1 million acres and several 100,000 head of cattle. And they're looking to expand. So how do you expand cheaply? Well, what you do is you get somebody to pass legislation that's going to make family farms file bankruptcy. And then instead of giving them fair market value for it, you can just buy the land in foreclosure. So, well, out of bankruptcy. So that's the end run here. That's what all these policies are doing, is simply gutting family farmers to allow corporations to get farmland cheaply. It's a shame. It's sad. It's shameful. But that's what this administration is going for, you know. Line the pockets of the big corporations, the big farmers, and shaft us.
Hello fam, how are you doing? I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for your love and support. I do appreciate. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I don't take it for granted. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm Carol. Welcome to our channel. Feel free to be part of us by just subscribing, turn on notification, so anytime I upload a new video, you will always be notified. Yay! So in today's video, as we can see, farmers in America, they are going on strike. All of them, they feel like, no, there's nothing that is working for us, and they have gone on the streets to protest about all the bankruptcy thing. So if you may not understand what I'm talking about, let's watch this video till the end, then come back with more comments. Kindly tell me in the comment section what you think about this video, and I will really appreciate your thoughts. Yeah, let's all tell our thoughts in the comment section and let's have a conversation. Don't forget to give a video like, share if you find it interesting and if you have learned something from it. Yeah, so let's watch, then come back with more comments.
Well, the latest blow to farmers, specifically farmers in Kansas, is going to be wheat. Wheat. When Doge and Trump killed the program that sent 4 billion people in 150 countries around the world, 80% of farmers in this area voted for Trump. The projected agricultural deficit, you heard me, deficit from the USDA predicted for 2025, including wheat, is $49.5 billion deficit to agriculture. This includes farming and cattle ranching. Why did these farmers vote Republican? Did you know that Trump did the same thing to them in his first term? Tariffs are a tax paid by the person who brings it in and then passed on to the consumer. If the other country puts a reciprocal tariff on us, that costs us money. Tariffs are a disaster.
The University of Arkansas did a recent study because farmers are filing for Chapter 12 bankruptcy at an alarming rate. There's a lot of things that are driving that. And before you say, I told you so, they all voted for it, it's going to hurt us too. So, just so you can own the red hats isn't necessarily the greatest way to look at this, because it's going to hurt us, and it's going to hurt a lot of people that really cannot afford to have it hurt them. So here's what's going on in the farm world and why they're filing bankruptcy. And this is not just small independent, this is moderate, this is larger farms. The cost to manufacture the items or grow the goods is gone up. So seeds, fertilizers, stakes, workers is all increasing, and the workers, there's a lack of them because of the indiscriminate raids that have been going on. But it's not just the farm workers, it's also the packaging facilities. So all of those things that the farmer grows goes to packaging facilities to end up in our grocery store, and they've been raiding both farms and those facilities. So we have a downturn of employees to process things, so it's a problem. The secondary offset is that every season they take out loans to finance the current season. And the loans are between 7 and 9% interest, which is direct impact because of inflation is why those loans are higher. But also the CFPB has been repealed, and therefore, you don't have bank regulations as much before as the consumer protection situation. Then the marketplace, the commodities. So when you finish making your farming items, the price to sell them is low. So they're not recouping their funds at the end of the season. And that is a problem because they're not being able to pay off the loans. All of those are going to lead to one or two things. We're going to have a shortage because there's going to be less of them out there producing for us. And two, the costs are going to go up because of all of the items that I just listed. So this is a direct impact of who we currently have in office and a lot of the policies he's put in place. But it is going to hurt us at the grocery store. And that's the bigger problem.
Now I believe that you have listened, you have watched, and you understand what's going on. So with farmers in America, they have been going bankrupt, and we know why. All these, when the raid started when ICE just getting people on the streets, deportation, when all these things started, farmers have been in a very big mess because they don't have someone to work on their farms, they don't have someone to pick their crops, they don't have anyone to do that for them. And we have seen that the number of bankruptcy has increased to 55%, which is a very, very big number, and this thing is not only affecting farmers, it's affecting like the whole of Americans, because when farmers go bankrupt, what does that mean? The price of groceries will now go high, and we all have seen that. Also, they have tariffs, that everything, the prices of groceries have gone high, the layoffs, and it has really, really been tough for Americans. So that means that when farmers are going bankrupt, the food supply will be very, very low, and that means that the prices will really, really go high. So you can imagine with that, yeah, including the tariffs. So it's going to be messy out here. We are all depending on farmers. Everyone, 90%, not even 90, 100%, we depend on these farmers. So we really, really have to come out for them. But people are really, really saying that even some Americans, they're blaming them for what is happening, because they really try to warn them. They really try to tell them that this and this will happen. Maybe they never understood something about these tariffs. Maybe they never understood how tariffs work, and it has just come to their realization that, oh, we just messed up ourselves. So all this is happening because of what we did, or because of the choices that we all made, because it has really, really been tough. Just imagine you trying with your farms, trying so hard that you can feed these people, you can satisfy the market, and all these things happen. Farmers are not showing up to work because they are afraid, because most of them are immigrants, and we know they do that just because of the low payments. Of course, guys, we all know this. Just having someone in your farm who doesn't have right papers, who is in this country legally, they just accept anything, yeah, and they are really, really hardworking. So most of people were really afraid to come to work, to show up to work, because they know that if they show up, ICE will come, they'll be deported, and yeah, they came from their countries. They wanted to seek refuge in these countries, and now they are being deported. So they won't show up at work because they know this is the target. This is where where we will be got. So if I go to the farm, this is where I'll be good. This is where my deportation thing will start. So they're so much afraid, and farmers are feeling that heat. There's no one. Just imagine that your mangoes are ready to be harvested, and no one shows up to work to do that for a week, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Now you see the loss that you are going to get, yeah, because you are going to get that loss, yeah. Your cabbages are ready, all your veggies are ready, there's no one who is coming to pick them for you, yeah. It's also sad, and this is increasing the number of bankruptcy, because what are you going to do with all that loss? What are you really going to do? So people feel like they are not sorry for them, because these are just the choices that they made for themselves when they voted for their own interest. Yeah, they really voted for their own interest, yeah. And now it's vice versa, the worst is just happening to them. Yeah. So this was it. I hope this video you are learning something. Sometimes we are not supposed to be selfish with our decisions. Let's try not to be selfish sometimes when we are making decisions, yeah. Just try to think of this other person. How will they be affected? How will this help them? So sometimes when making decision, don't just think of yourself, just also think of the outcomes that you're going to get. Yeah, so they should just be proud, they should accept, and they should just move on. The only thing that I pity is Americans, they are going to go through hard times because of all the tariffs, all the prices, yeah. At the grocery stores, you can see Medicaid, we can see the food stamp, yeah. So it's really going to be sad. But for the food stamps, a lot of people are saying that people should wake up, go to work, find something to do, yeah. So this was it. I hope you have learned something. I hope this video is helpful. I hope you share with your friends, you share with your family, tell them about this channel. Let's grow together. Let them also know what's going out here, and let them know that it's not going to be easy, yeah. As long maybe we all come together and look for something that we can do, because maybe these protests, they ain't into protest. They are not getting the message that all people are trying to send out through these protests. So let's just pray that everything will be okay, the economy comes back to normal. I don't know, yeah. So this is it. Kindly leave a comment in the comment section of what you think about this video, and let's have a conversation. Don't forget to give it a like so that we can reach as many people as possible. At least as we get likes, YouTube probably at least will recommend the video to other people. Yes, so let's give other people this opportunity so that they can come and watch, and we grow together. So this was it. Bye. I'm going to see you in my next video.